Thank you for joining me on the channel Mazarov Tarot. Today I am doing a collective energy reading for the signs of Cancers, Leo, and Virgos. I did take some notes for Cancer signs. I took notes for Cancer signs past and present, but we're going to read together collectively for currently, or excuse me, no, for the future. And then also, I do use masculine and feminine energy pronouns, but you don't have to be a biological male or woman. And also, it's not date specific and no specific water. Of course, because this is the Mazarov channel, I am going to be throwing in conspiracy things that I have thought about, a collective think tank, so on and so forth. So we're actually going to start off with that. I'm in a donut. I ain't steal it. My donut. I want to talk about something. Real quick. I'm making this. I was actually thinking about men in certain positions that are not or wouldn't normally be valued, but because of money, because they are an idol, women flock. But before the man even get the money, the idea that the man will have money or women get sent in to make a man seem more valuable is making me think of like Muslim men and their ideology. They believe that, or is that what they say in America? I think for Muslim men, when they get to heaven, it's 20v1, right? Like Drake would say when he started fighting with Kendrick Lamar. But I think in America, they lead men to already believe that it is 20v1, meaning you get 20 virgins per one man, okay, type of thing. But I was thinking about that because I was thinking about men that are considered, by all accounts, cursed beast, according to a capricious magician. He's like a creator of magic, a Solomon type of thing, Walt Disney, and Nephilim, men that are in the NBA. How women, the reason most women want those men is because of the women that are attached to those men. It makes them seem more valuable, more lovable, but they are beasts, right? Just imagine a gladiator. If you've ever watched any gladiator movie, especially primarily for the NFL, or think of Beauty and the Beast, those gladiators did not actually have wives. You know, they were normally taken from their home to far lands where they had to train vigorously to go out there and make a killing for Rome, for people of Rome's entertainment. And I'm going to get to why we are still wrong in a second. But the NBA, it kind of directly goes against God's orders with Nephilim. And I don't want to hear that. Okay. With Nephilim, they're too large. My ex-husband was 6'2", and he was really tall. He was really big. If you've seen somebody taller than 6'2", you start to notice that it's something different about that person's genetic makeup. Like, they just look different. They stand out, really. And it's not star-like quality. It's like, why? Nothing should make you question why, unless if it's fair. You always need to question, why does something seem fair? It's probably going to have a fairy that's gone, hey, why, yeah. But anyway, when I started thinking about that, it led me to think about not really beauty, even though she was a learned individual. She was a learned individual with a creative father that was wise beyond her wonders. She took an oath to serve her father. Beauty. It started to make me think about people in the community that take an oath to serve under God, like a servant of God, to serve the community and do God's work. Now, there's only 3 people in the Bible. 4 people? Because some people stop doing God's work and start doing Jesus' work. So I don't know, but I know that when people like doctors, judges, lawyers, maybe even some engineers, a whole slew of people, either you take that oath yourself, you go to people that take that oath, or you live under those oath takers' house or building. I started thinking about those individuals, and I started thinking about the ones that say they are atheists. A lot of learned individuals, once you get up into that world, they start not even believing in God. So then I started thinking, if our doctors and our attorneys and our lawyers do not believe in God, who are they taking that oath to? Because I'm pretty sure they still take that oath. To probably be a hypocrite. I'm wondering, woman, because that's not my mama. I just found it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Wonder Woman's mom is it's not hippocampus. That's a Tyranius brother. A tyrannical king. Remember? I don't know what it is. But a lot of those people do not believe in God. I knew one, for instance. I think he was an engineer or something like that. I know they take some type of doctor. I feel like they take an oath to serve the community, to do the right thing. But besides that, I started to think about that in general, like hospitals, your law buildings, of course, where you get married. Even if you're like, I'm an engineer, you probably worked with an attorney who did take an oath under God. And you probably said what? It's not standing ovation. Where you cross your heart and hope to die. You know what they say it's called? I forget what it's called in America. I haven't done that since 9/11. It's not called a standing ovation. I don't know what the hell it's called. The thing is, all these places, all these buildings are churches. Your hospital is a church. So the architect would not have had Neo up there. Yes, he would have had Neo. Because wasn't Neo at that point wearing like a monk outfit or a pastor's outfit, like a Roman pastor's outfit? But so was Mr. Anderson was a man in suits. But they're the same. They're the same. But it would have all been the architect's house. But the house is a church. This church is sickening. I don't know what it is. If you get what I'm saying. But I mean, it's like, they've all took an oath to serve as a God servant in the field. To do the godly, righteous, virtuous thing. Now, either they believe that it is fake, or they believe it is real. So either they are part of Israel or Christianity when they take that oath. Either you are a Christian pastor when you are a judge, doctor, lawyer. You can even work at a fucking restaurant. For instance, I work at McDonald's. But I'm sure they have a legal team that is filled up with attorneys that have taken that oath, that make sure that everything is ran under a certain commandment or law or jurisdiction or whatever. So even if you say, I'm just an engineer, you probably worked hand to hand with an attorney that took an oath to God to code that building. It is nothing but codes and simulation. If you believe that it is fake, then you probably are living in the matrix. And you need to wake up and realize that you're some sort of pastor or you belong to some sort of church house. The issue is that a lot of people don't believe in God, or you have people that are not like myself, for instance. But I mean, I was baptized Christian. I was raised Christian, and my father converted to Judaism. He's like a Hebrew or something like that. So I've learned growing up, because my father was in jail for so long, I learned about both things, from Christianity from my mother, Israel, Judaism from my father. But I believed wholly in Job. I believed in Job. Job is a Christian job, to serve God. You take an oath to serve God. But there's only one Job, and it is to serve God in God's house. The problem stems from individuals that are not Christian or Jewish, that could think that it is a game, along with atheists. Meaning, if you serve Allah, how are you a doctor that has taken an oath to God? I do not believe that there is a Muslim God in the oath. I don't believe they say raise your right hand to Allah. So you would have turned your back and took a Christian or Jewish person's position to shepherd. And you would have turned away from Allah. You would have turned away from your own commandments soon as you would have took that job here, doing somebody else's work, doing somebody else's wonder. And it could not sound serious to you, but it is serious on a spiritual plane. Because soon as you are here in this land of the make-believe real, you can leave behind your God. Because either you're going to go to a pastor for health care, go to a church for health, pay a Jewish man, be under a Jewish law, be under a doctor, lawyer, or somebody that has to follow those codes or programs. The problem is they are so fallen and they are so lost that it's a fallen system. For instance, I was thinking about the IRS. They follow those same codes. They probably take an oath. They have a whole bunch of attorneys and teams and all that. The problem is tithing. That is how a pastor and all those positions, I don't give a fuck what you think you are. If you take an oath to God to serve the community, to do God's work, to shepherd God's people, you are a pastor, a Pharisee, a scribe. All those people have took those positions, and you're supposed to get paid freely. Meaning, if I like your service, if I feel inclined to give to you, if I feel like it, I'm supposed to tie with you. You are not supposed to, as a pastor, be insured that you're going to make $400,000 a year. No. That's way too much to bear on the community. And you are a pastor. Okay? That's way too much. At that point, you are now making yourself an idol with an altar. And you want me to give you a dead ram, a dead Aquarius, a dead Bill in the form of Andrew Jackson, Ulysses Grant, whoever the fuck else is on those dollar bills. You want me to give you a dead animal offering on an altar to make sure that you do your part. Now, I was looking up something in Timothy, like 1 Timothy 5:7, where it was talking about elders or pastors, how do they get paid? They're supposed to be well respected and paid well. Well, what? You think that you're supposed to be paid by a slave 6 figures? Job lost everything. Lost everything. I feel more Job, or I feel more God, or at least feel like if I'm not doing God's work, then I'm doing Jesus' work. I'm just not a thief. I'm not a thief. I can just see you all are thieves. The whole church, the whole world, a whole America, all these nights would have wanted Jesus dead. Because whose work are you doing? You now are American Idols, and I did not vote for none of you. Doctors have a thing where they're racist. They'll just tell themselves, oh, black people are more sicker Yeah, well, your Jewish attorney that works for the, not the FDA, the Food Drug Administration, that is supposed to be a servant of God, is supposed to regulate that under some commandments, and they don't. Because they only give a fuck about a dead animal. And it's a coloring page at this point. At least back in the day, when you wanted a goddamn dead ram, you get yourself a goddamn dead ram. Now you only, in theory, get a goddamn dead animal offering on your altar. Imagine practicing Ramadan as a doctor, and you swore to God to be Job, and that's a Christian faith. And now you only do it for a dead ram, or if you want $100 bill, Benjamin Franklin was an Aquarius or a Capricorn. You want a dead bull, or you want a dead person. That's the only reason that you go out there and even be Job, and that ain't even in your fucking Bible. That wasn't even asked of you. So not only did you take from a Christian to have a Job where they can be paid well and make 6 figures, because only Joseph went in the well, right? Or are we talking, they said that kind of well. We can also talk about Jonah. Whatever. He probably felt confined to being a sellout. But I'm going to just go with Joseph. He fell in a well, and y'all want to get paid well. That's 6 figures because he was a slave, and that's 3/5. So you just will turn your back on your God, but still go through the motions. You so damn fallen and so goddamn corrupt. It's sickening. But beyond all of that, because I refuse to think that there's not some good people out there that have taken that oath and they are not an attorney strictly for the money. They are not a doctor strictly for the money. They are not an actual pastor strictly for the money and your tax breaks and your paid well, your private parking spots and your nice house and being able to sleep with whoever you want in your congregation, whether that's a team of nurses or some nurse bitches at the doctor's office, hospital, church. What scares me the most is those that literally say they don't believe in anything and they still take that oath. They still take it. So you take from the true believers. The ones that are actually possibly chosen for that position can't even do it because wise men are in the way. Wise men are doing the work of God and doing the work of Jesus Christ. And they don't even believe. Because either they feel older than, smarter than, wiser than. They feel like a fucking trinity themselves. They feel in the know. They'll give you whatever they want to give you. From the moment that anybody's born that could have actually been chosen and be on their motherfucking merry way, and not have to deal with no consequences if somebody die. Because they wise and you're not. Your gambling house is a church. I mean, they say denominations, but it's a church. Because it's all underneath. If there's an attorney in the house that got to sign one paper that took an oath, it's then a church. Imagine going to a synagogue, no, a mosque, and it's filled up with doctors and engineers and lawyers. They are Christian or Jewish or in the matrix, believing that they are not Christian or Jewish, believing that they did not pinky swear to Judaism because it is real, to be an idol. Just imagine. You go to the synagogue, they're not going to let the word out, my friend. Shh. They're not going to tell you. Because you probably so damn wise that you can't see or you choose not to see. Your father probably was drunk as fuck, fucking over the family or something. I don't know. They like to keep it in the family, these doctors and these lawyers. That's really weird. Get your jeans all fucked up. It's just sad. I was watching something earlier. Style of a Storm, and then I'm gonna get to the signs. Peach McIntyre. She was at Disney World, and she had lost two of her children. She has 9 children, and she feels complete. Number 9 is for completion. She lost 2 of her children. The 2 children that she lost was her choice to a phenomenal life. How can the IRS close your doors? How can a church come to your business and close your doors? Because you didn't tie the right amount of money for them. How can a church put an amount on how much you're supposed to give? I'm supposed to give freely with my heart, but guess what? I'm also supposed to be in a position that I can do it. I don't think no church should just be able to take money out of your paycheck. When have we become under a church state, and why do y'all believe that y'all are not? The church also owns your television programs, which tells you girls to get butt-ass naked. It also would regulate the hair business, the makeup business. All these businesses, all these people that make sure it's ran properly or up to code would have taken an oath to God to go right against everything God had said. But it's like, whose God is you playing with? Because see, you could play with Allah. You could play with it. Because I ain't never, ever been into Buddha. You could play with it. But what you ain't going to do is you is not going to play with me. You're not going to play with me, and you're not going to play with mine. Because I'll force your ass to wake up. I'll force your ass to do it. And be scared than a motherfucker out here. You can play with a lot, but you ain't going to play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with it. Don't even begin to. But I just did think that was funny. I thought it was funny because those women be thinking they better than me. Especially those Indian women. I be looking at them going, you done sold your soul, my friend, for a piece of paper that technically says one dead animal on it. We only buying and selling off of fucking animal offerings. I don't give a fuck what you name that animal. If we going off the Maserati or the astrological wheelhouse, you technically get one piece of paper that says equivalent of 1 dead boo or 50 dead boos. It's up to you. And if you get it 100, you can get Benjamin Franklin, which is a motherfucking dead man. I don't know what, but no, I just thought that was fascinating. Do I have to take these times? I took notes. I took a lot of notes. I ain't finished taking no notes. For Cancer signs, Leos, and Virgo. What else should I talk about? What else I was thinking about? Stay-at-home mamas. Stay-at-home mamas. Who's a stay-at-home mother? Who's a stay-at-home mom? Eve, to become a mom, she had to go get a job. From the very beginning, you women need to get a job. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mama, you're going to have to be a wise woman. You're going to have to be wiser than your husband. And you're going to have connections with the devil and God. And you're going to have to be so connected with devil and God that you got to pull your husband in the mix. And you and your husband are going to have to get judged by God to even become free. I don't think none of you women know God or nobody. Y'all live in a fantasy. That's not even what I want to talk about. We want to talk about the codex. So so you can have paradise. Okay. The codex in the hand of Pharisees and pastors, just like in the Da Vinci Code. It's just not that theatrical, right? They always make stuff seem so far-fetched. I keep telling Gretchen, fetch is not gonna ever happen, bitch. But it's in their hands. The codex. How everything is ran. The codex compound was supposed to go up to what? 10 commandments. But numbers only go up to 9. Or is 0 a number, or is 0 the absence of a number? Because they always put 0 on the low. Be underneath everything. I don't know. I always thought 0 meant no. Because when I go have $0 in my pocket, I can't go to the store and make it do something. But they say 0 is a number. I was thinking about something, you guys. I was thinking about slavery. And how they said they abolished slavery. The True North did. Are we looking for the Eastern Star or the Northern Star? I don't know what star we're looking for. But they abolished it. But you know what? Outside of slavery, I've never heard nobody say abolish other than demolish. I never heard nobody say abolish. I don't ever hear nobody say, you know what? We abolished that payment. We abolished that debt. We abolished it. That's how you know abolished is not don't and is not stop. It made me, when I heard abolished, I started thinking about a ball. They're going to have a ball. Lish. Who's Lish? When I hear Lish, I think Gaelic, angelic, birds. Early bird get the worm. Early bird get the worm. Wormwood, fairies, and also worm is the basic building blocks of life. Basic life. Those that are just trying to survive can get rinsed out from water. Could get drowned out from water. Somebody's sons of God and them Lord would look at life like worms, not ants. It's just in your DNA. I don't know what that is. I was thinking about it. Codex. Chapter Paradise. They got the codex. They keep it all in their family though. These motherfuckers be having, these family lines be having the same amount of money as Rome, as the Pope. They all the Pope. They all think they Francis. It's getting hard to breathe up there. I forget. My brain just went blank. Somebody don't make it this message out there. Star Spangled Banner. So we all live in Judaism. I already said this. We all live in Israel. The Codex just didn't give us paradise. It gave us the illusion of paradise. It looks so very beautiful. But it ain't free. Do your doctor know he a pastor? Do your doctor tell you when he come in there that when he lay hands on you, he supposed to be doing God's wonders? So he think he Moses. I think they Moses. Doctors would think they Moses. They're going to separate the Red Sea and do something with your blood and do something with Sephora. They say Sephora, but I thought her name was Zipporah, like Egyptians. Egyptians. I know Sephora had something to do with makeup, so his wife would have had some makeup. Rihanna. He not kill a man. Then they say Rocky didn't kill a man. He almost killed a man. He almost killed his friend once. Moses killed a man. Killed a man. He killed a whole slew of man. But they only talk about that one. He killed the one. Those firstborns. He killed him. Then he left. Because he was not going to do righteous. So he left. So we got Moses out there doing God's wonders. We got Jewish people keeping the word stuck, calling it a codex. And all these buildings have to have codes and regulations. What the fuck? You have architect engineers that don't want to believe that they work for Church's Chicken. Because them are engineers that are Islam or Muslim. But you're not building up Allah or Sheba or nothing. You're not building it up. If anything, you would be the reason why it's destroying itself or just warping in on itself because you're too busy building up somebody else's church house. You have what? What else you have out there? I don't know what Africans believe in. I wouldn't trust my African doctor. Because I don't know nothing. You sold me out, my friend. I don't know nothing about no African doctor. And, yeah. Native Americans, they're Christian. They had to have code and regulations for the casinos. And if they're going to sell any stuff to you, then I'm going to follow the codex. Y'all just a pastor. I don't know what it means. He can't be a pastor because this story says, I don't like this shit. I want to rebel. They say he wanted to have less laws. Me too. I don't want to have less laws. I want to have less servants of God. Because since there's so many servants of God that don't actually believe in God, I don't even know who God is anymore. I don't know who God is anymore because of God's servants. This house is disgusting. This church house, I don't know when it becomes something called United States because it's not. It's called a church house. I don't know. Like, they had slavery. Now, my ancestors actually were servants of God. And they didn't get paid for it. But like in the Da Vinci Code, Claire would have wanted my ancestors dead. Because I only could think about that one white man that was beating the hell out of himself. That seems like my ancestors getting whipped on their fucking back, not getting nothing. Talking about we was once prisoners. But once we got free and we were so mentally goddamn broken, church took advantage. You don't know who's at church anymore. You go to McDonald's, you was at church. You go to a strip club, you are at church, my friend. I know. A strip brothels is not, well, it could be. But I'm sure they have some sort of rules or regulations by attorney or some sort of law or some sort of police officer that takes that same oath. Or at least in that same building where they give out that goddamn oath like they got the right, like them pastors. Do they even bring in pastors or clergymen? They just let a judge swear you in to take an oath to God, not knowing what that judge could have did yesterday. It probably went to the section of the church that's all about having naked women gyrate around. Why? Brothel prostitutes, temple prostitutes. I once got asked to be a servant to some white lady that turned water to wine. I thought her name was Dionysus, but it could have been Jesus. Has in a bar, Joseph. But guess what? I told her, bitch, I'm not gonna serve. When I heard serve, I felt like all my ancestors had stood up collectively and said, hell no. I told her I can't do no serving. Because I'm not gonna take no oath. Because guess why? I want to be able to call you a stupid bitch. And I don't want to feel wrong about it. I ain't never had no money. I ain't never had no wise men come to me and tell me, you should take an oath and do God's work. And give me an inheritance from the very beginning. I never get that. Baby, earlier I tried to come out my vote apartment and give some bread to a squirrel. Some birds took it because they have a higher point of view, making it be a vulture. The squirrel did come back because I remember running back in the house, laying down on my bed trying to see that squirrel eat that donut. The squirrel came back and had bigger portions. But them birds had took that. They had brought them legacy, and I was so distraught because I did not leave that money or that bread out there for that goddamn bird. I didn't leave that for that black bird. I left that for that goddamn squirrel. And the reason I left that for that squirrel is because I saw something beautiful. I saw that squirrel evolve. That squirrel had a black bag. It had found a sock or something, and I think it was putting like stuff in it. And when I saw that, I knew then that I wanted to give. Because it always sits with me. My back window is to a trash can. And that squirrel always sits on top of that trash can and eats its dinners, lunch, and breakfast. The bird stole it. I remember thinking about life. Well, you know what? I would have put a whole bunch of gold, diamond, silver stuff someplace. Went to sleep, but not really. I just would have laid down, looking at all my little dibbers. Getting excited for them to find the things that was easily available to them. It wasn't even hard. I mean, I put it in a little bit of a maze, kind of, not really, but it would have been really easy. And something with a higher point of view coming from absolutely, I don't know fucking where, came down, took it with all its little baby birds. And I don't know who the fuck, like, I didn't leave that for them. Bother me. Birds automatically think they're supposed to get bread. I don't want to give no bread to no damn birds because everybody else wants to. I wanted to give bread to that squirrel because nobody wants to. I know how God felt that. God says, supposedly, if the world loves you, essentially, I'm ad-libbing, but essentially, he does not. Or if the world knows you, then God does not. That's kind of how I felt about that. Everybody want to go to a beach and throw bread down for birds. I don't even like birds. Stop gawking at me. Squirrels give you space for the most part. I wanted to give to the squirrel because nobody do. So I'm like, tap rats, emails, and females want to attack my ankles. Anywho, I forget what I was going to say. So if I can think about it, then I'll go back. But Godspeed. God bless. Bye.